Hey everyone, Stratabean here, and welcome back to the video. Today, we're going into the haunted mansion that is Duskborn with Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls. Valgavoth is a 4/4 Elder Demon with Flying and Ward, pay 2 life that costs 4 mana in Rakdos, and his effect is whenever an opponent loses life for the first time during each of their turns, put a 1/1 counter on Valgavoth and draw a card. This deck doesn't win by overwhelming with creatures or raw damage. Instead, it's a cruel inevitability-driven build that drains your opponents, punishes them for playing the game, and turns every point of life loss into exponential suffering. You don't have to do much. Valgavoth makes sure every spark of pain echoes into despair. Let's get into it. Overview. At its core, this deck wants to do 3 things. 1. Punish opponents for playing the game, casting spells, losing creatures, fetching land, all of it hurts. 2. Turn chip damage into massive life loss. Cards like Ogre, Axonel, Soulfim, and Archfiend of Despair double down on damage output. And 3. Lock the table into despair with inevitability engines like Exquisite Blood plus Enduring Tenacity, or grindy enchantments like Sulfuric Vortex and Painful Quandary. You're not the aggressor here, you're the tormentor. Every action your opponents take only accelerates their downfall. Core synergies. Mindcrank mills your opponent's cards every time they get dealt damage. Underworld Dreams, Fate Unraveler, Spiteful Visions, and Scrawling Caller makes your opponents lose life every time they draw cards. Zozu the Punisher, Polluted Bonds, and Nightshade Harvester makes it to where every time your opponents play lands, they get dealt damage. Archfiend of Despair makes it to where your opponents lose life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn. Obnixilis Captive Kingpin turns your damage into Impulse Draw. And Ogre, Axonel, and Sulfim make all of your non-combat damage pings larger. Mogus God of Slaughter makes your opponents choose to take 2 damage or sacrifice a creature. Sir Conrad and Blood Artist deal damage to your opponents when creatures die. And Painful Quandary makes your opponents discard cards or lose 5 life every time they cast a spell. Support and Control. Demonic and Vampiric Tutors are your tutors. Abrade, Rakdos Charm, Deflecting Swat, and Deadly Rollick are your removal pieces. Blasphemous Act, Damnation, and Mutinous Massacre are your board wipes. And Valgavoth, Scrawling Crawler, and Spiteful Visions are your main draw engines. Combos. This deck has 3 main combos to close out games. To achieve all 3, you need to have both pieces on your field and a way to deal damage. For Bloodteeth Ascension and Mindcrank, they must both be on your field, and Bloodteeth Ascension must have at least 3 quest counters on it. Whenever your opponents lose life, they will get milled by Mindcrank, and then they'll lose 2 life because of Bloodteeth Ascension. This combo will end with your opponents having no life or no cards in their library. With Exquisite Blood and Enduring Tenacity, you will drain your opponents of all their life. And with All Will Be One and the Red Terror, you will have infinite 1/1 counters on the Red Terror and infinite damage with All Will Be One. Piloting tips. In the early game, focus on ramp and early punishing cards like Zozu, Bloodseeker, or Sulfuric Vortex, then soften the table and set up Valgavoth. In the mid-game, drop Valgavoth once there's already life loss effects in play. This multiplies the impact of every trigger. Protect Valgavoth and use Witch's Clinic for lifelink swings if needed. And in the late game, assemble your finishing combo or let your enchantments and damage doublers bleed the table out. Remember, you don't have to deal the final blow. Valgavoth turns every cut into a fatal wound. And that's how I built around Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls. This deck doesn't just deal damage, it spreads despair until the whole table crumbles, whether you're going infinite with Exquisite Blood, punishing lands with Zozu, or letting Spiteful Visions draw the last cards your opponents will ever see. Valgavoth makes sure every action leads to agony. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments on what other commanders you'd like to see me cover next. Until next time, bye.